Hey everyone, it's Charlie Morgan here and welcome to another video for the channel. Today I'm joined by George, one of our clients from Easy Grow, and in this video he's going to share how he used our program to go from $0 to $20,000 per month. Get this, in 4 months. The dude was full-time employed at Amazon prior to working with us. By the way, look at this view. How gorgeous is this, man? I'm in Stockholm at the moment, in Sweden. I'm sure you knew where Stockholm was, I didn't really have to clarify that. And I'm right by a lake, and honestly, very calm, very peaceful. And I'll tell you what else is calm and peaceful, and that is George, mate, because George is amazing. And in this video, he's going to explain how he used the program. And he literally I knew he was a client, but he posted some stuff in our group, paid group, and then I was like, how much are you making now? He was like, oh, I did like 18 grand this month. And I was like, how much were you making when you started? He was like, 0. I was like, when did you start? He was like 4 months ago. And I was like, oh, client interview time. So this one is with George. I hope it gives you some inspiration. Obviously, full disclaimer, this is a sales thing, right? It's designed to get you to buy the program, blah, blah, blah. But maybe it will inspire you to buy the thing and get a similar result. So without further ado, we shall cut the clip in. If you want to buy my stuff, there's a link in the description. Click it if you dare. See you later. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another client interview. Today I have the wonderful George with his wonderful hairline that I am ever so jealous of. In today's video, we're going to be walking through George's story with our program. I'm going to provide some context, but the real gist of the story is George went from full-time employee to 20K a month agency owner over the course of about 4 months of working with us. It's a pretty cool story, and George is here to tell us. So George, why don't you just start by introducing yourself, tell the people about who you are, what your niche is, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty stuff.
Oh, yep. Thanks for having me on this, Charlie. Yeah, so in terms of niche and story, so I was at Amazon, just didn't enjoy being in a corporate environment, and wanted to do my own thing. I've always wanted to do my own thing and felt like I finally had the skill set to do so. So basically found Charlie through his YouTube channel, hopped on a sales call, program looked really legit. And prior to even leaving, joined the program from anywhere from late December to February 1st, I was just in there poking around, learning, interacting with the team. And then February 1st started up an Amazon agency looking to just drive profitable growth and sales to Amazon sellers and vendors.
Damn good stuff, man. So George started in January of basically this year, so 23. We're now sort of nearing towards the end of May. So it's effectively been, like you said, the first month you didn't really do any outreach, you weren't using the system. So it's been about 5 months since you joined, but realistically 4 if you account that you weren't doing outreach till February. Tell the people how much money you made this month.
So this month of May, we'll finish at about 18K. And then for June, we have 3 clients starting in June. So we should be, a couple of them are percentage of sales and spend deals. So it should be 25K-ish for June.
Mate, so full-time employee, you quit your job, and then you got to 20K a month over the course of 4 months. How the hell do you feel? Like, that must be pretty good, man.
Feel good, but it can always be better, can always keep growing it. So, yeah. It feels amazing, but not content, trying to grow, trying to interview, trying to get more clients. So
it's good, man. So let's talk about the beginning of this. So you were in a job. Walk me through how you felt at the job, because obviously I'm assuming you felt like you could do more and you were more than just like the corporate environment. But what frustrated you about that, and why did you want to break free, essentially?
For me, so my quota increased, I think it was like 164% year over year. And my pay ended up going down just because it was an outrageously high quota. And if you just look at the numbers year over year, so I had like a 3 million quota and it went up to 8 million, and I drove like $7.8 million in sales. Sorry, this is complicated. I drove about 7.8-ish or whatever it was in 2022, but in 2021, I only did about 3-something million, and I got paid less. So I knew if I had a business and I grew it from 3 million to 7 million, my salary or my pay would go up significantly too. So I figured, it makes sense to do my own thing and just build my own business and take a risk. And there'll probably be an L in the short term, but hopefully the long-term W if I can replicate my success. So that was my thought process. Biggest thing was just, I want to get paid what I'm worth.
Yeah, I hear you, man. So the being paid what you're worth is obviously a huge part of it. Did it have anything to do with the freedom? Like not having a boss, working where you want, working in your own time, like going to work in t-shirts, man. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. So I was in a pretty chill environment, just being tech, fully remote, could do whatever. But to that point, I think not having a boss is super nice still. when you work at a place like Amazon, it's a lot of just the corporate goals that you have to follow. Now I'm kind of following my own goals and kind of taking my own path. So I think from like a goal setting and like the direction of the business, it's really nice. And I just can do whatever I think is best, and don't have to say, okay, this quarter we're doing this goal, or that quarter we're doing this goal, or we're doing this sales sprint currently, or whatever it might be. So that is nice.
That's good. So you finished you quit the job before you started doing outreach. And what gave you the confidence to do that? Because obviously that's quite a big decision to take. A lot of people dream of working for Amazon, right? It's like some people's dream come true as
Yeah.
well. So what gave you the confidence, the conviction to sort of think, right, this is a well calculated risk and it's going to work out?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, I've been saving my commission checks just to make sure I was good. And basically, what I did is I set it up so that my lease ended in June, or sorry, end of May. And so I had it set up that I could pay for my entire lifestyle all the way from point of quitting, February 1st, all the way till my lease ending May. So, worst case scenario, I move home to my parents' house and keep going. Um, so that was just kind of the structure I had to make sure I was financially sound. And then in terms of like mentally, it's just looking at the people that are being successful, people that are either younger than me or older than me, and thinking I could probably do that too if I invest the time. So for me, I was like, okay, I'm going to quit and commit for 1 year. And at the end of 1 year, if I'm just doing terrible, I'll go to Walmart or Target or whatever and get a job. Um, but in the meantime, this is an amazing opportunity that I continue to see people succeeding in. So I might as well shoot my shot as well.
That's amazing, man. So you followed me on YouTube and then you booked a call because you
Mhm.
purchased before Easy Grow launched, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yes.
you would
Yep.
have
Right
spent
before.
you would have spent that first month going through like the normal content. So
Mhm.
to build the business you've got now, the agency, what strategies do you use from Easy Grow? Is it cold email? Are you cold DMing? Because literally we haven't heard from you. Like, I was like, I saw a
Yeah.
post in the community and you were like, yeah, I signed another client. I was like, how much is this dude making? Like, what's his story? So talk to me about like
Yeah.
the actual process of building the thing and what systems you use.
Yeah. So for me, it's been straight cold calling. I think I'm the best on the phone. I think it can objection handle well. I think it can figure out what a client's goals are really well and speak to it. So when I joined, I was trying a bunch of the different like cold, like whether it's email or DM approaches, but um, I think his name was Jeffrey. He was just going ham on cold calls and just booking meetings constantly and posting about it. So I was like, all right, I got to switch to cold calls, give that a shot. And kind of like multiple people in the program were doing really well through cold calls. So I was like, okay, we're just going to start cold calling. Started cold calling, saw a lot of success there, and just kept going with it. So cold call has been my number one form of outreach. And then right now, currently going through all the Facebook ads modules that Bo put up and trying to get Facebook ads launched as soon as possible.
Amazing, man. And as for the other stuff in the program, did you use a mindset module? Was there any sales systems you used? I mean, talk to people about what else you used.
Yeah, so for the program, mindset module is my Saturday morning. I was doing a cup of coffee,
Yeah.
mindset module 1.25x. Just
Mhm.
that's how I started my Saturdays for like a month and a half or something.
Oh,
So
shit,
it's
you do it
definitely
every week.
yeah, I was doing one a week. So I was just doing one mindset module every Saturday morning because they're like, 2.5, 3 hours of pretty good content. So I
Yeah,
wouldn't want to do like three in a row. I think my brain would be dead by that point. So just take it all in, digest that one, then go to the next, then go to the next. And there's also like follow-up stuff of like activities within it to make you just dive deeper. So just want to make sure I'm investing the time necessary into one mindset module before going to the next one, etc. So did that. A lot of the hiring stuff as well has been really helpful. They kind of
mm,
outline for me coming from corporate, like I didn't have an agency existing, so they had a lot of like, okay, at this point you need a lead gen person immediately. So my mind just, all right, I'm getting a lead gen. Okay, at this point you get your media buyer. So then I'm checking out, how do I hire a media buyer? What do I pay them? I've never done that before. So I've been just kind of following that structure as well. Um, and yeah, that's kind of the stuff I've been investigating. So did all the
makes
cold
sense.
outreach and then moved into the mindset and then the hiring and training stuff.
Makes sense. So, what does the structure of the agency look like now? How many clients do you have, and do you have a team yet, or are you still building it?
Mhm. Yeah, good question as well. So structure of the agency. So I have some clients that I'm working with, but I have one media buyer for lack of a better word, but we're doing like PPC and SEO. So it's kind of a combo, I guess, account manager. He's running with about 8 accounts right now. He's a 1099 contractor.
Hmm.
Currently interviewing for an additional 1099 contractor because I just need somebody else to take on more clients.
For
And then I
me,
have,
George, what does
Mhm.
1099 contractor mean?
Oh, yeah, sorry. So like the W-2 employee in the US is like a salaried full benefit employee. A
Hey,
1099 contractor is like no
yeah,
benefits, not salaried.
that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
So I have two of those account managers. I got two people for content. So we help with like A plus content, video, images, just stuff to help drive conversion rate. And then I have a couple people that are just like overseas for like lead gen or like back end support, stuff like that. So
Mm,
small team, but growing.
that makes sense, dude. So what I'd like to know, what was the pivotal moment of like either a lesson or mindset shift where it just took off? Because obviously, going from you quit your job, you're making no money, and then 3, 4 months later, you're making 20K a month. Walk me through some of the key moments where you sort of had like a light bulb moment or something. But did you know what I mean? Those big points of leverage.
Yeah. You're asking the deep questions here. I gotta think.
Dude, that's what I'm here to do, man. People want to know.
Yeah. Pivotal moments. Okay, so I think pivotal moment number one is just getting everything together. So,
Mm,
when I'm first joining in, just figuring out all this stuff in regards to how do I even generate leads, how do I even start cold calling, et cetera, and getting that process going. Because initially it's just me doing my thing. Pivotal moment number two would then be figuring out how to actually hire, and bringing somebody on to continue to expand. So I'd say those are the first two. I think currently ads will be the next pivotal moment. I just mispronunciated that so badly. But yeah,
yeah.
something like that, I'd say. And I think just along the way, just keeping like a learning and growth mindset of like, how do I keep getting better? How do I keep doing this better? How do I improve? So yeah, just kind of those things.
So talking of ads, what is next? What's the next goal?
The next goal. I want to get to 50K minimum. Probably early Q4 would be nice if I replicate what I've done in H1, which should be accelerated just due to the fact that I know everything I know currently.
Hmm.
We should be able to do 50K by early Q4, and then next year I want to get to a legitimate $1 million agency, so 100K per month in 2024.
Yeah, baby. I don't see any reason why you shouldn't make the trajectory you're on. You know, it's amazing. It takes, I mean, most businesses, it takes them like 3 or 4 years to get to 20K a month. You know, so it's such a high leverage model, man. So congratulations.
Thank you.
So now the part where I ask you to sell my thing for me.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, if because obviously, you know, we make these videos
Hmm.
as a method of social proof, right? So that people can see like George is a real human. He's not AI, as you can tell. Like he's a human, right? As I think, as far as I'm concerned.
No, I'm from ChatGPT.
Exactly. I've pre-programmed him to say the right things. But in all seriousness, if you were if you were talking to someone on the fence and they were like, oh, like I'm in a full-time job or like I want to start and I'm not sure what to do, like, but they were sort of unconvinced. Like, what advice would you give them or what would you say?
Yeah, for me, I think kind of like what I walk through on a couple different questions is leaving a full-time job you're not used to having, no sort of social proof to what Charlie was just saying, right? You have the Amazon email, people automatically reply, like you have social proof built in, or if you're at a different big corporation, whatever, consulting firm, etc.
Mm,
So it's kind of figuring out how do I, basically start from the ground up. And as basic as just figuring out lead gen. To a lot of agency owners, that's probably very fundamental. But to somebody who either was at tech or in consulting, you never had to do the lead gen. You kind of just had things handed to you.
mm,
So just that step one. And the program is going to walk you through the whole process, right? I know it's kind of dubbed as a client acquisition program. For me, it was like a holistic agency program of here's how we
yeah.
do everything.
Well,
I think client acquisition is the best part, but I think like it's
yeah.
taught me like everything in regards to okay, here's how we're going to hire. Here's this at this point you need to hire that person, that point that person, etc. So I
Mm,
think lead gen is step one, where it'll just teach you like, hey, just outsource, get a lead gen person to start getting those leads for you. Then focus all your time and attention on client acquisition rather than spending a ton of money or sorry, a ton of time on identifying, who you want to call. Or not who you want, yeah, who you want to call. And then it's okay, how do we get you really good at that client acquisition part, which is what they're going to dive into. So like Charlie mentioned, for me, cold calling, but they have cold DMs, they have cold emails, they have ads if you have a higher, quantity of money in your pocket already. So they have all these different client outreach methods where you pick one and you can run with it. And you can also join in these different um, like they have weekly meetings where you can join in and say, hey, how do I do this better? How do I do that better? I've asked a few questions there, and I've also interacted with Nor, who's kind of the operator of like, hey, Nor, can you review my cold call script? Can you review my, case study or whatever it might be? And they're just giving you another perspective. So I'd say for me personally, coming from a corporate environment, and if somebody else is coming from a corporate environment, it's just been a holistic, like, 101. This is how we do an agency. This is how you do it properly, and this is how you get clients through it. So that's my take. That's my perspective. But yeah,
Yeah, and a big shout out to Noor.
yeah.
He's very helpful. So one thing I'm trying to get into the habit of saying this on client interviews, because a lot
Mm,
of people are going to look at you and their expectations won't be set properly. You must have
mm.
worked really hard for this. Right, I can
Yeah, that's another
imagine
thing.
I can imagine you've really put in a lot of time and effort,
Mm,
and you've probably suffered quite a lot over the last few months to make this thing and build it. And I want everyone watching this to know that, like, if you do want to buy the thing, do it, but please don't think it's
mm.
going to be easy. Like, I'm
Oh
sure
yeah.
George's hairline was a little bit further forward before he started. Let's put it that way.
No, I
If
just need a
if
haircut,
that's
man.
even possible.
It's bad right now. I just need a haircut. No, yeah, I mean, definitely you're gonna have to work hard at it. I think
Yeah,
to some stuff that Charlie mentions in modules over and over again. You can't just do 10 DMs and expect to get, 50 clients. You got to put in the work. So
yeah,
for me, I remember I would accounting is another thing you got to do, right? If you're running the business. So I remember I was just kind of bookkeeping, tracking my clients, making sure I'm getting my invoices, et cetera, et cetera. That's taking me some time. I get a call. It's like Saturday. My friend's like, what have you been up to all day? I've been working on my books for 3 hours, trying to make sure this thing's running right. He's like, what? Like, why would you do that? I'm like, I'm a business owner. Like, that's how it works. So yeah,
yeah,
you have to put in the work. Just for me, it's like setting an outreach block every single day where I'm going in and
yeah.
doing the outreach. I'm setting a client delivery block where going in, I'm doing my client service
You
delivery
just
every day. And it's going to be more hours for sure. But I think the long-term payoff, for me, I mean, I've enjoyed it way more and I think it has way more upside. So yeah.
I love it, man. I'm going to put that on my video ideas for YouTube, like an outreach blog, because I'm always on the hunt for new video ideas, and like, I think that would be quite useful for people. Just shout at them for 10 minutes and say, set aside some time to do outreach, and just do that every day. But dude, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, like, for me, this Zoom thing was honestly more for my curiosity than anything. I was like, oh, I know we have a good
Yeah.
product, but like sometimes it does be a lot. The issue we have is, like, a lot of people work behind the scenes and they don't
Mhm.
communicate too much with us, and then suddenly out of nowhere we find these incredible results. And I
Yeah.
want to thank you for your hard work, man, and representing and also coming on. I'm sure this is going to inspire a lot of people to take actions to get the same thing you did. So dude, that's everything from me. Unless there's anything else you want to talk about, maybe where can people find you? Instagram? And are you bothered about that stuff or not? You can plug anything there.
Just LinkedIn, my name. You can
Yeah,
find me there. Yeah, that's about it.
calm.
But thank you to you too as well, Charlie, and for all the time into the
Oh,
modules and of
well, dude,
course.
you bought the thing, so thank you.
For
Mutually
sure, for sure.
beneficial relationship. George, thank you, brother. I'll talk to you soon. And everyone watching this, go and subscribe and like. And if you want similar stuff, George, results wise, click the first link in the description. It'll all be explained there. You can click it if you don't want to click it. It's fine. Right. Nice one, guys. See
Cool.
you later.